steampunk group. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you for having me.
Mary, what is steampunk?
Steampunk originally came into being, the term around the 1980s as a sub-genre of cyberpunk. It was kind of like Victorian science fiction, as an easy way to explain it.
Okay.
It's inventions at a time. Now, it's been around for literature since the 1800s, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Jules Verne, yes.
Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days.
Yep.
It's inventions where inventions should not be. It's if industrial revolution ever happened and everything still runs in steam.
Okay.
It's no, maybe some transistors, but no computerized. It's gears. Could be spaceships, could be dystopia, could be can't breathe. Post-apocalyptic. Can't talk. It's just funny for me, you know, I can talk. Post-apocalyptic, it's run by more mechanical than it is computerized.
Oh, great. That's a good description. Now, there is a local steampunk group, society, club.
There is.
What are you guys called? What's your official title?
Steampunk Newfoundland.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page and a web page.
Okay.
The Facebook page is run by Brent Slade.
Okay.
And the web page, the Facebook page and the Facebook group. He's actually the guy who brought it to Newfoundland.
When did it start?
In 2010, actually, Brent was talking to the Steampunk Society of Toronto and was very interested, and he actually had a panel at Sci-Fi on the Rock.
Okay.
And telling people what it was and be interested, and it kind of formed with that. He and a couple of more people, let me see now, I just want it back there. I want to make sure their names. Amy Linehan and Brittany Ward were the first three that did it.
Okay.
They had a booth, they had panels. I joined maybe a year, 2 years later. We've had steampunk teas, we've had crafting groups every time, different ones, and panels about different steampunks and all of the different subgenres, which is, there are a lot of.
Do you guys attend any events with your clubs?
We do. We attend the conventions first.
The conventions,
Sci-Fi on the Rock, Avalon Expo.
Yeah.
Buren Expo out in Buren.
Okay.
We just finished doing a modified one, of course, at C.Con, very first convention in Clarenville.
Clarenville, okay.
We also have been part of something the Rooms has been doing a couple of times, where they get us there. One time it was during a costume exhibition, which Sci-Fi on the Rock was involved in, and we did crafting then. Nice. Another time it was for a Halloween party, which we did crafting as well. Basically, we've been expanding the last few years, last couple of years, everything's been shut down.
Right.
But people seem to be more interested. They understand what it is more. There's not a whole lot. I don't understand what this is. Explain it to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know what that is. My sister likes it. My wife likes it. My husband likes it.
That's right.
So people kind of know more.
Now, you're really, really done up. Very interesting today and gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about your, what's it referred to? Suit, costume?
Costume, cosplay. Steampunk cosplay is. Basically, I was reading before I came here, and there was like, what's the best things for steampunk cosplay? It was like, when in doubt, start off Victorian and add stuff to it.
Okay.
Just don't slap gears on things. The big joke in steampunk is, take whatever you want and slap gears on it and make a steampunk.
No.
That's not it. There are steampunk movies, there are steampunk bands, and one of the bands, I don't know if it's Abney Park, Steampunk Giraffe, or Professor Elemental, they have a song, Just Put Gears on It.
Just put gears on it. No, we don't do that.
Costumes are, this is local, this is from a lady by the name of Amanda. She had tied up corsets.
Okay.
That's a local one. A lot of this is, I also am a dancer, so.
You mean like she actually makes the corsets?
She, I don't think she makes them, she brings them in.
Brings them in, okay.
But that's something I don't want to get it wrong. Sorry, Amanda, if I'm wrong. A lot of this is found. I got this at Choices for Youth last week for 25 cents.
Nice.
Value Village is your friend, especially at Halloween. Not so much last year.
No.
They have a steampunk section. However, Spirit of Halloween this year also had a steampunk section. A little bit more pricey. Value Village is probably the way to go. Some good things. It's a lot of it's thrifting. I think this is from Shoppers Drug Mart.
Okay.
Halloween, is when you're going to find your things, is when you're going to find your gloves, it's when you're going to find your jewelry, and a lot of the outfits for guys and girls, put it together. It's what you're comfortable in.
Yeah. Are there any basics to the costume? Because I know I see a lot of steampunkers, they'll have a hat with goggles. Is that mandatory?
You don't have to have a hat with goggles.
Okay.
It's whatever you're comfortable in. A lot of times they have, I've seen people with aviator hats.
Oh, nice,
Or
yes.
no hats at all, or just a little thing on top, or just a bow. It is, it's whatever you perceive as steampunk. It's a whole genre. Obviously, neon colors aren't the way to go.
No, that's right.
But you don't have to go, now I'm a bit black and brown today, just for the traditional one, a little bit more color on the skirt.
Yeah.
You don't have to go black and white and sepia. You can go different colors. You can go anything. There is a lovely lady by the name of Nicole Maddox, as you know, Mad Maddox cosplay. She did Steampunk Lady Deadpool.
Oh, wow.
You can go Marvel characters, you can steampunk them up. You can take anything you want and steampunk it.
So long as you don't add gears to it.
Well, just don't add gears to it and that's it.
That's
you
it,
can slap a couple of gears on your finished costume, but you know, don't stick a gear and say, oh, this is my steampunk thing.
Mary, besides the events now, you got some props you brought along here today. Just give us a little...
I do, now.
Just give us a little...
This is actually, it was supposed to have batteries in it, but I didn't do that. This is one of the things that was available at the, I want to say at one of the dollar stores or at Value Village, a Steampunk Gone. Again, not too many gears, but just like the sci-fi gone a little bit. Again, they're going with the browns, the sepia tones. These glasses, believe it or not, as I put these on there now.
Oh, they're neat.
These were bought at a regular store as regular sunglasses. I walked in and went, ha. Ha. Told all the steampunkers, they ran them in, they bought them out. So these can be goggles.
That's right.
I've seen people use welder's goggles.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, these goggles actually came with the hat.
Oh, neat.
You can do that. That's great.
That's neat.
Top hats, guys and girls.
Yep.
Gender bending.
No problem at all.
Come as a guy, come as a girl.
Whatever you want.
Everything is open. There is no gender. There is no prerequisites. Wear what you're comfortable in. As you know, when you're wearing a costume, I know I've seen you in many costumes over the years. You're going to be in it 8, 9, 10 hours.
Yeah.
Don't be crying in the bathroom at the end of it.
No, that's right.
Have marks and bruises and everything. Test out your costume. Wear it around for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Make sure you can walk in it.
Mary, with your club, are you guys like an open club? You're looking for members?
We are always looking for members. Now, we are more of a local club. We have people from outside of Newfoundland, but we do events in Newfoundland.
Mary, how again now, if someone's at home, they want to get in contact with you guys, what's your contact info again, please?
If you want to get on, Facebook page is Steampunk, all one word, and then Newfoundland, the second word. That is the Facebook page. That is the Facebook group.
Perfect. Okay.
We monitor that all the time, and we will be able to answer any questions you like, or accept your membership if you want to join.
Yeah. And you said you had a website too?
Oh, sorry, I meant the Facebook group.
Oh, Facebook group. Okay, great. All right, Mary, thanks for coming in and telling us all about steampunk today. And we'll be right back after this. And thank you, Mary. Up next, Christian shows us all about his pop culture art. And welcome back. I would like to welcome to the show Christian Gushue, pop culture artist. I got it. Look at that. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Christian, tell us about your artwork and what a pop culture artist is.
Well, the basic gist is I simply make art based on various pop culture. In my particular case, various fandoms, Marvel, games, Pokemon, comic books, things such as that.
Okay. And you got some examples of it here. Just probably show us some of your work.
Well, here's some of the Pokemon ones that I did. They're all based off the gym badges and the gym leaders from the original game.
Okay.
And I also have, a mix.
I'll just bring them up here.
Oh, yes, certainly.
Yep.
Certainly. So here's some from Marvel. I got some Thor.
Oh, that's a good lead in. Okay, Iron Man.
Got some Iron Man.
Oh, that's nice. You got the
arc reactor.
arc reactor and the components that puts his suit on and off. That's excellent.
Got some Spider-Man swinging in through the city.
Cool. Ah,
The beloved Mandalorian.
that everybody's into lately. That is excellent.
We also got some Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, depending
Jim,
how you prefer.
however you pronounce it.
Yeah. As well as some more.
That's a nice one. Snowspeeder.
Yes.
And back to Thor again. That is an awesome one.
Thank you.
Where do you have your work? Where do you sell it to? Is it online?
As
or?
of right now, I have it actually being sold at, I believe it was a previous person you had on, Amanda Heroes and Hobbies.
Okay, you have some stuff up there.
I have, right now I'm selling it there, usually besides there, because that was fairly recent since I started.
Yes.
Would be Sci-Fi on the Rock.
Convention,
Various
local
conventions.
Yeah.
But that has been a little bit more difficult as of late.
Yeah. Well, now speaking about a little bit difficult, has COVID impacted your artwork, your business?
For certain, more so the creative side, I find.
Oh, how's that?
Just with everything going on with the pandemic and trying to make sure everything's right and friends, family, and it's just been a bit more mentally exhausting. And,
Sure.
And I've started various projects, but I haven't quite finished them because I just found myself drained from everything that's just going on.
Gotcha. Now, your work, is that all done on computer or is it hand done? How do you when you get inspiration for a piece, how do you go from an idea to the final product?
Well, it goes two ways. Either I'll draw a little thumb sketch, which is sort of like a little tiny, very crudely drawn picture of an idea.
Sure.
Or if I have the idea clear in my head, I start digitally in a program called Illustrator.
Okay.
And what Illustrator happens to be is a program that, where other programs use pixels, this one basically uses math behind the scenes. So you can have a picture that big and you can stretch it out and you'll have the same clarity.
Okay.
So I can reshape however I need without having to worry about it getting into a low quality.
So everything is done on the computer. There's no paintbrush, there's no pencils, there's no, everything's all computer.
All digital.
All digital.
In the end, anyways.
In the end. That is great. So you say you have your stuff at Heroes and Hobbies.
Correct.
Yeah. And what other type of artwork do you do? Like, you say pop culture, but like, is it just TV shows, or is it books, video games? Where do you get your inspiration from?
Really just all the things that I'm a fan of, whether it be shows, books, comics, games, film, whatever it happens to be, but mostly within that demographic. And usually it's more of a, as I like to say, nerd culture.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That, like they say, it's cool now to be a nerd.
Oh, yes.
Certainly is. With your artwork, though, what's the most interesting piece you've done?
For me, I would say the Empire Strikes Back one that was shown there. That was
the Empire Strikes Back.
probably my favorite one so far. I liked how the colors worked out. I liked how I was able to blend the scene with Boba Fett leaving with Han Solo and Carbonite, and then down below, probably the more important scene of the confrontation between Luke and Vader. And I just really liked how everything flowed together.
Now, with the colors on your artwork, some artists say if I'm feeling not that happy today, I'll use dark colors. If I'm having a great day, I'll do light colors. Any kind of inside feelings like that comes out in your work?
For me, at least with this, now, not to say that I don't use light or dark colors depending on the day. Usually it will vary on the project.
Okay, yeah.
It is usually trying to keep a color scheme of, in this case, Thor, he usually tends to have loud blues, and grays and such, silvers, things like that. So I try to keep within that color range and not try to step too far out of bound of it.
So you usually keep the colors within whatever your subject is?
Yes.
So if you're doing something, I don't know, like, well, Spider-Man, Spider-Man is usually red
and blues.
and blues and stuff.
Sometimes
like
you
that.
might have some whites depending on how they decide to do things.
Okay.
But pretty much just try to keep within, or at least something that would resemble
Yeah.
a particular character or product or idea, story.
So the colors would go along with what the subject matter would be.
Correct.
Excellent. If somebody was looking to have a commission done, or do some work for you, how could they contact you?
They can contact me either on Facebook at Gushue Design, all one word, or they can contact me on Instagram at Gushue_design, and they can also contact me via my email at christiangushue@gmail.com.
Excellent. Well, Christian, thank you for coming in and showing us your work today.
Sure thing. Thank you for having
And
me.
we'll be right back after this. If you have comments or guest ideas for Pocket Universe, please email darren.pocketuniverse@gmail.com. And I want to thank Christian for that look at his great artwork. Oh, what's this? Oh, all righty.
You gotta be worthy, let me owner. Thanks.
Well, I guess Andre's up next. Now I'd like to introduce Andre Sparks, cosplayer. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Darren. Good to be here.
Who are you wearing?
Well, today
I sound like we're on the Oscars.
I know. It's like, well, my gown is made by. Yeah. No, today I am wearing my Thor cosplay, inspired by the Marvel movie Infinity War. The outfit Thor was wearing then. I added a couple of personal touches myself, but that's mostly what it's inspired by.
How long have you been cosplaying?
It's been 3 or 4 years now. I think it was 2018. I went to Sci-Fi on the Rock for the first time. I always dress up every Halloween with my my boys, and but that was the actual first convention I went to, and after that I was hooked.
Speaking of the boys, what do the boys think of Dad getting dressed up like this?
Oh, they love it. They're used to it by now. From a very young age, they saw I have lots of toys at home that they're not allowed to play with, and we always have a fun Halloween and whatnot. So they're used to it, and they know it's a hobby of mine. So
Yeah, that's nice. So, what kind of events do you attend as a cosplayer?
really any event I can. I started with Sci-Fi on the Rock, and started doing Bane was my first official cosplay. The movie version from Dark Knight Rises by Tom Hardy.
Yep.
So I did that version, and I got great response that year, and I was asked to do some meet and greets out front and whatnot, and I started knowing different cosplayers and getting ideas. So then didn't want to just have Bane. Bane's a bit scary for the kids. So I needed some more friendly characters to do, and not always masks. So then I moved on and started doing Thor and different ones. And I've done Horror Con, the first two.
Oh, nice.
I was a guest player for those. I also dressed as Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series.
That's at the HorrorCon.
Yeah, HorrorCon. The first 2 years was in Carbonear at the Stone Jug. Last year's got canceled because of the pandemic.
Yes.
They were planning on doing it at the Newfoundland Armory there by RNC.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'll probably do, when it starts going again, I'll have another version of Jason for them to do, and keep going from there. So really any event I can. One's coming up when they start going again. I'll do Sci-Fi on the Rock again. I think I'm going to do Atlanticon. But sometimes they're not necessarily big events. I've been asked a couple times to do the hockey games with the Growlers.
Oh, nice.
They had a Marvel night, so that time I did Punisher at one hockey game, and then they had a Batman-themed night.
Nice.
So I dressed up as Bane for that one.
Nice, yeah.
So sometimes it may be at a comic book store. They're having free comic book day, and they want some cosplayers to be there to mix with the kids and to take pictures and whatnot. So I've done a few of those at Heroes and Hobbies and local store at Amanda Skinner's, and really any event. I don't do it for the fame or pay or anything. It's just a fun thing to do, to dress up.
Now, you mentioned some of your characters.
Yeah.
Now, you brought some of the folks and props here today. You
A
want
few
to
of my props, yeah.
go through them a little bit?
Well, this one, I actually started dressing up as Jason just for Halloween before I started doing conventions.
Now,
And
Jason is Jason
Voorhees.
from the movie
Friday the 13th.
Friday. Excellent. Okay.
There's been 12 of those official movies so far. So there's lots of different variations of the costume I've been able to do.
12 Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next one's Lucky 13, Friday the 13th. Yeah. So, but there's also been some fan films that they've done while there's been some legal stuff going on. They haven't produced any more movies, so people start making them themselves.
Sure.
So my next Jason is going to be called Ghost Jason, and he's inspired by the Never Hike Alone short film with Jason.
Okay. Yes.
This is the axe that I've done up. It's kind of yellow paint. This is just foam. It's just foam, so it's con safe. And I painted it and dirtied it up. It was just all brown.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
That is foam.
Yeah, it's
but
just
it
foam.
looks.
Yeah, no, I rusted it up, make it look a little more metal, and painted it yellow, and then dirtied the handle with some brown paint to make it look muddy and whatnot. So that'll be my my weapon of choice for Ghost Jason.
Yep.
And I got a new outfit for that. I haven't had that opportunity to wear yet. This is the one I was most commonly seen in at HorrorCon.
This guy here.
That one there, Rod Hann. He's a local painter.
Yes.
And I got a cheap $5 mask for Amazon, and I asked him, could he paint it up to make it look old and inspired? So he did that for me.
Yep.
And I used to wear just makeup under there, but I found with the sweating and everything else, it didn't look as good. So what I did is I shopped online and found a kind of grotesque looking latex mask. And it wasn't Jason, it was just another character, a zombie character.
Yep.
And then I cut out the face so I can breathe better.
Yep.
And I wear that as a hood under that mask. So it
Nice.
makes Jason look a little more undead.
So then you've got actually cosplay in the back. You've got stuff on the back of your head.
Yeah, so the back of my head is covered, and then I put the cloak over it, so it looks like they assume it goes all the way down.
Yeah.
And with that one, I'm wearing gloves, so you can't tell the difference. You think he's just all corpsey all the way.
Ooh, okay.
So
gross but cool.
Gross but cool.
Yeah.
As I said, I've done Punisher before. This is my newest Punisher gun that I did up. It was a Nerf foam gun, and I repainted it to look more metallic, and scraped in a Punisher skull there. The same with that knife down there.
Yeah.
Frank Castle, the Punisher, is an ex-Marine, so I got the Marine K-bar knife.
Right.
It's a practice knife that they use for just practice and handling, so it's just rubber.
Now, speaking about rubber and safety and all this, I noticed your gun.
Yep.
It's got a yellow tip, orange tip on the front.
Yes, at conventions, obviously we don't want to set panic into the goers and them thinking that we have characters and cosplayers with real weapons.
Right.
So what's usually required at most conventions is that you attach a orange tip or cap on the end of the gun to signal that this is just pretend. It's just it's not a real working weapon. These are both plastic. Yeah. They're just painted to look metal. But this comes off. It's just a cap that I have on there. So when I have it displayed at home, I have that off. Yeah. But to go to a convention, those are on there to put people at ease that there's not some maniac there running around at the convention. So that's why we put those there.
Just one touch on that, just in case someone says like, why is there a little cap?
Yeah, that's why the orange cap is there. Yeah, and because we don't want to panic. We don't want to make people uncomfortable. We want people to be safe and feel safe.
Now, the nice black helmet. I love that.
This is from Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is a British comic book character that's been running for about 50 years.
Wow, 50?
Yeah. It's been under 2000 AD, I think is the name of the comic, and he's been a character who's been around a long time. There's been 2 movie adaptations. There was one back in mid-90s that Sylvester Stallone did.
I remember that one, yes. Rob Snyder.
That one wasn't as well received. It didn't translate as well from the comic to the movie. It looked a little goofy. At times, it's still a fun flick, but then I believe it was, I want to say 2012, they did another one just called Dredd, and Carl Urban, who's in a lot of sci-fi movies, Lord of the Rings, a whole bunch of other stuff, Star Trek, he's the new Scotty, not Scotty, Bones, sorry.
Dr. McCoy.
Dr. McCoy, that's right. He was the Judge Dredd character, and they modernized his costume a bit, they made it more practical. So he's wearing actually a lot like this, more black leather
Right.
and more of a practical vest that he's wearing on top. And this is modeled after the helmet that he wore in there. This one I got custom made. I think it was actually over in Russia.
Oh, wow.
And Etsy, he makes them.
Yes.
And there's foam inside, so it sits comfortably on my head.
Yep.
And yeah, that's an upcoming cosplay I hope to wear soon. It was all ready for a couple years ago for Sci-Fi on the Rock, but then it got canceled and
Of course.
postponed. So
Yep.
that one's just sitting and waiting. So I can't wait to wear that one.
Well, this pandemic will be over soon and everybody will be back to their cosplaying conventions and
Oh, yes.
everything. If somebody wants to check out your work, sir, how can they find you online?
I post most of my stuff on Facebook. The name of my Facebook page for my cosplay is called Brute Squad Cosplay.
Brute Squad Cosplay.
Yeah, I took that from Andre the Giant from Princess Bride. He's the Brute Squad.
That's nice.
And we
That's
both have the same first name, so I always love that. So Brute Squad Cosplay is my page on Facebook.
Well, Andre, thank you for coming in today and showing us all this wonderful stuff.
No problem, Darren.
And we'll be right back after this. Thanks to all our guests. I hope you enjoyed our show as much as I did. Please tune in again next time.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive